Your Honor, members of the jury, today the defense will try to paint Severus Snape as a tragic hero. But we are here to judge Severus Snape not by his final act, but the life he chose to live. And the evidence will show you that he was a biased teacher, a bully, and a man whose actions were driven more by his obsession than by his genuine morality. Your Honor, Snape used his position of absolute authority to humiliate and bully students who posed no threat to him. He ruthlessly targeted Neville Longbottom and mocked his intellect publicly. Snape directly looked at Hermione's physical deformity caused by a tooth-growing hex by Draco Malfoy and he stated, "I see no difference." He frequently insulted Harry by comparing him to his deceased father and mocking his fame. This is not tough love or deep cover. This is a textbook definition of bullying with a teaching license.
Defending Professor Severus Snape requires looking past his biting discipline as a teacher and examining his choices when the stakes were highest. Let's not forget that for years Professor Severus Snape was working as a double agent under unimaginable psychological pressure to defeat Voldemort and protect Harry. Now this is established as earliest as in the first book, which is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Chapter 17, where in Harry's first Quidditch match, Professor Snape is chanting, he's muttering a counter curse to protect Harry and to save his life.
Your Honor, Snape was openly biased towards Slytherin students and unfair to other students, especially Gryffindors. He weaponized the house point system and unfairly deducted points from Gryffindor while overlooking the same behavior from Slytherin. He punished Gryffindors more harshly than Slytherins for the most trivial and sometimes fabricated offenses. This is blatant abuse of power that proves that Severus Snape was incapable of acting with basic professional fairness.
In chapter 33 of the book Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Professor Severus Snape begged Dumbledore to hide the Potter family when he realized that their lives were in danger. Dumbledore asked Severus Snape what he would give in return. To this, Severus Snape replied, "Anything." Even though Professor Severus Snape was bullied by Harry's dad, James Potter, when he himself was a kid, yet he chose to protect their family.
Snape projected his hatred of James Potter onto Harry because he looked like his father. Snape targeted Harry from his very first potion lesson before he had done anything. He projected his hatred of James Potter onto an innocent 11-year-old. Children are not responsible for their parents' mistake, and Snape never truly separated Harry from James.
Professor Severus Snape's biggest sacrifice was sacrificing his own reputation when he executed Dumbledore on the old headmaster's request to protect him from a painful curse, also to save Draco Malfoy's soul, and also to keep intact his own cover so he could go on protecting Hogwarts from within.
Snape did not protect Harry because it was morally right. He protected Harry because he loved Lily Potter. In Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, Snape begged Dumbledore to save Lily only. His first concern was Lily, not her husband and child. Even years later, when Dumbledore asked Snape why he continues protecting Harry, Snape casts a Patronus, a doe identical to Lily's. His motivation was love for Lily, not affection for Harry.
Professor Severus Snape's biggest sacrifice was sacrificing his own reputation when he executed Dumbledore on the old headmaster's request to protect him from a painful curse, also to save Draco Malfoy's soul, and also to keep intact his own cover so he could go on protecting Hogwarts from within.
Your Honor, Snape willingly joined Death Eaters. Before Lily's death, Snape voluntarily joined Voldemort. He gave Voldemort the prophecy that led to an attack on the Potters. He only turned against Voldemort after Lily became the target, not because it was the right thing to do. Snape's redemption begins only after the consequences personally affect him. Members of the jury, you, the audience, are the judges. The evidence has been presented. Was Severus Snape truly a hero or a bully who abused his power against innocent children? The verdict is now in your hands.
Professor Severus Snape's driving force was never personal glory, power, or an exalted public image. It was a silent, unyielding love, not just for Lily Potter, but also for Harry Potter. The evidence for this is in chapter 33 of the book Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, where Severus Snape is shocked and horrified when Dumbledore tells him that Harry Potter's ultimate fate is to be defeated and unalived by Voldemort. At this point, Severus Snape casts out his Patronus, which is a silver doe, to show where his loyalties lie, as this Patronus matches with that of Lily Potter's. In the end, the ultimate proof that I would say for the sincerity of Professor Severus Snape is the fact that Harry himself knew about this, and that is why he honored the memory of Professor Snape by naming his son Albus Severus. And he tells his son, I will quote in the words of Harry Potter, he tells his son about Professor Severus that he was a Slytherin and probably the bravest man that I ever knew.